Yo, welcome to the Vibe Providers podcast. I'm your host, Kaitlyn.
And I'm your other host, Missy. And today the vibe we're providing is on a delay.
That's a good one.
Today we're talking about the things that we didn't learn until later in life. Almost embarrassingly late.
Yeah.
And I have a few, unfortunately.
Dude, me too. Me too.
So first we're going to share ours. And then we're going to share listener responses. We posted on our Insta. So if you ever want to be a participant, follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
We post our little boxes there so people can share. It's all anonymous. We don't share names or things like that. But there's some good ones.
Yeah, we love listener comments.
Okay, I'll go first. And mine is like a saying.
Yes.
If you're going to make something stop, I thought you were going to nip it in the butt.
Yep.
As in like bite it in the butt.
Yep.
And that would make it stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a dog bites you in the butt,
yep,
you stop. The real saying is nip it in the bud. Like a bud of a flower.
Dude.
And I think it's because like if you're growing things, if you cut the buds, like it'll stop the growth. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was nip it in the butt.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm sure I have one similar.
Sayings are hard.
Actually, mine's also the same one first. So should I say it?
Yeah.
Mine is hand-me-downs. I thought it was hand-me-downs.
Yeah, like hammy. Must be hammy.
Yeah, I love hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And then one time my brother was like, it's hand-me-downs.
Yeah. I've seen people online talking about Tupperware.
Yeah.
Because it's Tupperware
Tupper
with a P.
Tupper.
There are people saying Tupperware.
Tupperware?
Yeah, with B's.
And it's Tupperware.
Tupperware. It's just like you hear it and you're like, well, I'm not questioning that.
Yeah.
My next one is that I thought that dishwashers filled all the way up with water. All the way. Like they were like a tub in there.
Yeah.
How else were they going to get clean at the top?
How are they not leaking?
And so when people would like open it a little,
you're like,
I thought it was going to like gush out.
Yeah.
I would never stop a dishwasher.
No, never.
I was like, no, I'm going to have like water everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just sprayers.
Wait, so when did you like learn that?
I was an adult who was in her own apartment. Married. I was old.
Oh, you were married.
I always thought they just filled all the way up.
That's kind of crazy.
And then if you stopped them, you had to wait a minute to like let the water drain.
But that is a lot of water.
It would really be a lot of water.
If it really did fill up, that's a lot of water.
And that makes it scary. I'm like, the lock doesn't feel like enough.
No. The snapshot does not feel like enough.
Yeah, it's just sprayers. Go figure.
Go figure.
I was like, well, it lets out the soap, so it has to like get in the water and like get all around. I still don't quite understand how a dishwasher actually gets everything clean.
No.
But it's not by filling all the way up with water.
No, truly. You're onto something. And I wonder if there's so many people who are like learning this for the first time.
Who knew?
Who knew? All right, you ready for my next one?
Yeah.
Fossil fuels.
Okay. That they're
literally from dinosaurs. So like oil.
Like from fossils.
I didn't know. I thought it was just called fossil fuels.
Just because.
I thought it was just like, oh, fossil fuels, like not actual dinosaur smudge.
Yeah.
Under the ground.
Yeah. And that's
why there's a dinosaur for Sinclair.
Yeah.
The gas station, the green dinosaur.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a mascot.
Oh.
Fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Like, is anyone else learning in this? I was an adult.
I don't know why that one made sense to me on instinct.
But
I couldn't figure out how dishwashers worked, you know?
Yeah.
This is something that I had to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So when it's like 80% chance of rain, I was like, oh, that means that like, that's the chance that it's going to rain, which makes sense. There's an 80% chance it'll rain on me today. And then someone on the internet was like, that's not what it means. It means that in the area, 80% of it will get rain.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, no.
No, it's not?
It's not.
Okay, pause.
I had to Google it. I went Googling.
Okay, because that's what I thought. I thought the 80% chance is 80% of the area will get rain.
That's because we learned it on TikTok. I swear. I went Googling.
Okay.
Because I said that and my husband's like, that's not right.
Oh,
And I'm like, it is right.
yeah.
I saw it on the internet.
Yeah. TikTok.
TikTok told me.
TTU, TikTok University.
And if you
Mitch.
Google it, it does say that it is the percentage chance of if you will get rain. It's not the percentage of area.
Wow, you're like getting tugged back and forth.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh. I thought I learned something. I was like, oh, this is one of the things.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, just kidding. I just trusted the internet.
Yeah.
So maybe the thing that I learned late in life was not to trust everything you hear on the internet.
Yeah, true.
And if someone on there is like, no, you did it wrong and it's the other way, wouldn't be surprised. But I did use the Goog, you know?
Yeah.
I did a quick Goog and it was like, nope, it's not the area. So that's that for me. Still learning about it, apparently.
Apparently. This one I learned last week.
Oh, new.
I've been putting trash bags in the wrong way this whole time.
What do you mean in the wrong way?
So I get my trash bag out
Yeah.
and then I just like put it in.
Yep.
And then spread it out and then put it around.
So that's what I do.
So it's actually not supposed to go in that way because then like the seam is on the outside and the seam needs to be on the inside.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you have to put your trash bag in like...
So you put it on the thing and then push it through.
Oh. Interesting.
But he said he's like, it's supposed to like be better.
Okay.
Like strength wise.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But the seams are on the outside.
They are.
So they feel like they should be on the inside now. And then like when you pull it out.
I wonder what the instructions on my garbage bags say. I'm going to check it out.
I might be wrong.
If so, I've been doing it wrong. But who's flipping their bags inside out?
No, but
when
I
you
did
put it in?
I did it the last couple of times.
Okay. And
But
is it better?
I don't know. I've never had that much stuff in the trash that's like super
I've never
heavy.
had that big of an issue.
But I just felt like, well, I should share something that at least I learned last week.
Yeah. Okay. My last one is that pimentos are just red peppers.
I don't even know what a pimento is.
Have you heard of pimento cheese?
Yeah.
That's cheese mixed with some other stuff and red peppers.
Oh.
The green olives that are stuffed with pimentos,
Oh.
that's a red pepper. in
Okay.
there.
Oh, no wonder it's red.
Yeah.
It checks out.
It checks out.
It checks out.
I thought they were like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Like a pimento was in fact just a pimento. And
Yeah.
it was a whole different fruit or vegetable or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a red pepper.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knew?
We're
Not
just
me.
adding names on.
Before we get to listener responses, I did ask my husband if there were some things he did
Yeah.
or didn't know. And he said there's actually like a lot of jobs.
So many.
He's like, when I went to school, it was like, you can go to like be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You can like own a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You can like work in construction.
Okay.
That's about it.
Oh.
I was like, oh. And
Okay.
he's like, but really, when you go to school, it's not like, oh, I can do all these different things. He's like, there wasn't that many jobs in my mind.
Oh.
It was just a few categories.
No, there is so many.
There's literally the weirdest jobs.
And there's like the weirdest majors.
Yeah, well, and I kind of relate. When I went to school, I was like, well, I've always liked science and I've always liked medical stuff, so I'm going into nursing. Because I didn't think I wanted to go to medical school, so I was like, nursing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get into BYU's very competitive nursing program because I had a 3.98.
You had a 3.98 and didn't get in?
You have to have a 4.0 to get into that. I'm telling you right now. So then I had a quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do with my life if
Yeah.
I can't be a nurse?
I know.
Turns out there's lots of other options.
So many.
I just didn't know them. So like I ended up going into like work in the hospital lab,
Okay.
which is an option.
Yeah.
It's an option. But there's also like managers of those labs. There's so many things.
So many.
And Mitch was like, I knew that people worked on computers, but I didn't quite understand. And he's like, now he's a software engineer. He's like, the amount of jobs that there are in like computer and the tech world is like huge.
So many.
He's like, I didn't know there were so many kinds of jobs.
That's actually funny.
He also said he thought that the hobbits were actually little people, like the actors. He's like, I didn't realize that they could like CGI them to look small.
Oh, really?
He just thought they were small.
Oh.
But he was also like, but that guy was in that other movie, the one who plays Sam. He was in a football movie that was very popular. Rudy.
Rudy.
Was it Rudy?
Rudy.
And he's like, maybe he was small in that too. It just like in his head, he did not quite understand. So he just thought they were little people.
That's
which
so
is
funny.
Fair, I guess.
That's fair.
Okay. Listener responses. I will say, we just put a question box. So it was like things I didn't learn until later in life.
Yeah.
And we did have some people who put in very sincere responses. Maybe not quite as ridiculous as the things that I didn't know. Okay, so some people submitted things they really didn't know in like a very sincere way.
Oh, I see. I can see
one is
now.
like how to cook. Fair. There's a lot of people who don't know how to cook.
True.
Which I thought was weird because I grew up cooking. But I actually know a good amount of adults who don't know how to cook.
The next one is crazy.
Yeah. Like how to take care of your periods well.
Who didn't teach you that?
It's like they were probably doing the best they could with like the products that were there.
I know, but no one taught them.
I think that they probably got some talk, but not like the best advice, you know? Like now as an adult, I treat myself very differently than the things I used as a kid, you know?
Yo, that is wild.
And then someone said that everyone out there is just doing the best they can. And that's true.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like those are very sincere responses.
Yes.
That might not be quite what we're going for here.
You guys tender.
But we love you.
Yeah.
Because those are true.
Yeah.
And those are things that sometimes you just don't learn until you're grown.
Yeah.
But the ones I want to know are the ridiculous ones.
Yeah.
You want to kick us off there?
I was a teenager when I learned that meat was muscle. I was horrified.
I feel like everyone has to reckon with this at some point. Yes?
Yeah.
My kid, when he found out that chicken was chickens, went off chicken for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, he's a very sensitive soul.
Yes.
He has a lot of feelings about things. And so he was like, it's chickens? And I'm like, yeah.
Unfortunately,
it is chickens. The next one said my friend thought that the OBGYN drape was supposed to be a poncho. And so she poked a hole in it for her head. So you know how they give you like a big blanket to put over your lap when they're going to give you like a pap smear or check things? She thought it was supposed to cover your whole body. So she got like full undone.
No.
Poked a hole for her head and wore it like a little poncho.
No.
I'm like, you don't think it would come with a hole in it?
You're joking. The doctor.
Yeah. So someone came in and she was wearing it like a poncho.
That's so terrible.
And a nurse in there had to like keep her cool when she walked in and saw her.
And they literally couldn't laugh at her.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that nurse
That's pretty funny.
like kept it in. That's so wild.
I mean, that's a tricky situation to begin with. You're like, am I doing things the right way? But I've never thought to like alter what they give me. This needs a hole for my head.
Missy, I might be learning something new on the podcast. I don't even know the next one.
Oh, what beaver is slang for?
I don't know.
It is slang for woman parts. A woman part. Front bum. That's also called a beaver.
I did not know.
That's because we grew up sheltered.
Yeah.
You want to know how I learned this?
How?
And it's because when we got my dog, he was very little.
Yeah.
So they only had like so many tiny toys.
Yeah.
And so we bought him a little toy beaver. And we would always be like, go get your beaver.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we went to family's house and referred to it in that way. And they were like, hee 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 hee. And we were like, what?
What are you laughing at?
Yeah. Beaver is for front bumps.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. Look, you're learning something new.
I thought I was like being so slick and being like, I learned this last week. And actually I learned it while we were recording.
Today. Okay, next.
The Hamburglar was a burglar of hamburgers.
Yeah.
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 That's just his name, apparently.
Yeah.
Next, satellite towers are not airplane drive-thrus. I'm not sure how the plane's supposed to stop at the satellite tower and like get what they need, but
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy someone thought that. learned late in life. They learned that late in life.
Yeah, well, I don't know how late in life. They don't specify their age in that one.
That's true. Oh, my turn?
Yep.
Person about their kid thought a TJ Maxinista was Max and Easta.
Yeah, you know, like, are you a Maxinista?
Oh, TJ Maxinista?
From TJ Maxx.
Okay.
They thought it was a TJ, Max, and Easta.
Like 3 names?
Yeah. 3 names. 3 people.
Whoa.
I love it when kids don't understand things.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Next, that power lines were what gave phones signals. So if you couldn't see power lines, you would not have signal. And if we're being very honest, I might have to do a quick Goog on like what the power lines are doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not totally sure.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. They carry the power.
So now power lines are like undergrounds these days.
Right. But there are still some up on power lines.
Yeah. Like I got power lines outside my house because I have an old
But yeah, I
neighborhood.
think they run underground now.
Yeah.
But power lines are not related to signal.
No.
So.
Because there's like cell phone towers.
There's cell phone towers that are related to
and
signal.
satellites in outer space.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Crazy.
But when she put that in that box, I was like, if you asked me, what are the power lines doing? Would I know? Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Or like we have a big power, you wouldn't call it a plant. It's like one of those spots where it's like a whole bunch of like metal towers all together. And I'm like, what's happening in there? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is. But can I say something funny?
Yeah.
Okay, since we talked about like a satellite in the sky.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I went and visited our friends, the Mikesels, and it's me, Kala, and Boston
Okay.
sitting in the hot tub.
Okay.
And it's nighttime. And we're like looking at the sky and stuff. And one night we see this like green line of like, at the time we were like, it's a fleet of UFOs.
Aliens have come.
And of course, like it's because they're green.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And they're in a line. I've never seen this before. And I'm not familiar with Starlink.
Yeah, me neither.
But Starlink is like internet or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, of course, we're like all kind of freaking out. And we're like laughing, like a fleet of UFOs.
All in a row.
We unfortunately looked it up on ChatGPT. It was Starlink. It's just like some sort of service, and they have satellites. And we saw it again the next night.
Oh.
But it was just funny. And yeah,
We had to do a quick Goog.
I literally thought they were UFOs. So many together in a line. I'm like, tell me that's not UFOs.
Yeah, they're coming to get us right now.
Guys, I was so calm.
You're like, it's fine. It's gonna
But then
okay.
it ended up being Starlink. And I was like, lame.
Oh. This one says that you should let meat rest after you cook it or grill it.
Oh, my bad. I'm not. Like, I think I do that sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
Do you know you're supposed to do it?
No. Well, if the recipe says, then I listen.
Then you do it.
But I'm not like doing
You're
it.
supposed to do it every time.
Oh.
It holds the moisture in.
Oh.
So if you cut it and it like always has like juice all over the place, so if you're cutting up chicken and it's like leaking juice,
Yeah.
you needed to let it rest.
Oh, my bad.
Same with steak. If you cut it and it's like the liquid's all over the place,
Oops.
that's because you cut it too soon and needed to rest.
My B.
Last one's on you.
Let me read it for everyone. How to properly use my side mirrors in my car. I was 40. Whoa.
I use my side mirrors more than I use my rearview mirror.
I don't even have a backup camera. I gotta be using my mirrors.
Yeah. I'm just worried about how that person was like changing lanes. How are we doing that without using our side mirrors the right way? What were they doing?
How did
Like,
they?
what
How
were we
are they
thinking?
alive? How many car accidents did they get in?
That is the real question. Is this person a bad driver? They were until they figured out how to use them side mirrors.
How'd they get their license?
I will say, I tell my husband, because I'm usually the driver because I get very car sick, so I prefer to drive, that he's always worried about the rearview mirror being blocked by stuff. And I'm like, it's okay, I'll use my side mirrors.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but you need to be able to see out the back. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I'll use my side mirrors.
Yeah.
And he must not use his side mirrors enough.
Side mirrors are more important than the...
Yes.
Because it's like...
Behind me, sure.
They're behind me. It's like, what are they going to...
But if I have to move, I got to know who's to the sides and who's coming around.
Yeah.
I'm using my side mirrors all the time.
Yeah.
So that is a little spooky. How many people out there not using them side mirrors?
That's actually...
It explains some things, maybe.
Yeah.
Like why people drive the way they do here.
It's checking out.
It's checking out. Nobody knows, apparently.
No.
I couldn't live without my side mirrors, but if someone was like, you can't use the rearview mirror, I'd be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
Unless
I'm backing up, I really don't need it. And how often do I have to back up?
Yeah.
Not that often.
Because you could always do a pull through.
Okay. Well, that's it for the people who learned things late in life. And honestly, us too.
Yeah, truly. I think I was learning things.
I am now seeing them on my, come through my thing. Like people who didn't know what certain sayings meant or things like that. I'm seeing it. So we're not alone.
Like, I know for sure that Denise is making up sayings. Some sayings like kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh yeah.
But she be making up stuff that I've never heard before.
Oh.
Ever.
And you're like, how did we get here?
And she's like, no, it's been said. And I'm like, no, you're making, and I call her out every time she says something new. I'm like, you just made it up.
Yeah.
On the spot.
And I feel like the same thing goes with a lot of words. Like espresso, not espresso.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds like espresso.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or people who are like, I couldn't care less versus I could care less.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't care less is proper. Because you couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But people are like, I could care less. And you're like, I don't think that's quite.
You're not hitting the mark.
That's not quite what you mean. But
yeah.
I get it. So we're not alone.
That's true.
Thanks for the people who shared. We appreciate your sharing because that is pretty good. And also, Kaitlyn learned something new.
I love when listeners share.
Me too. And I always feel that.
Yeah.
Because listen, I still don't know what the power lines are doing. I'm looking at some power lines being like, how?
Are you Googling or are you chat GPTing?
I'm Googling because I am late to the chat GPT world.
I am loving chat GPT and I have realized I'm not using it to its full potential.
Yeah. Everyone in my life is telling me about chat GPT. Mitch is using it to study. Well, he has to keep up with the things.
Yeah.
He's using it to make, my son has a YouTube channel. So he's using it to make the graphics. But then I was talking to my sister-in-law and she's like, she had this weird legal issue. And so she's asking ChatGPT if what she's doing seems appropriate and here's what happened. What do you think? And ChatGPT is really coming through for her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would not even consider talking to ChatGPT about that. You know?
I know. The more you find out what other people are chat GPTing, you're like, you can do that.
Yeah. And she's like, you got to learn. And now she's been Marco Poloing me when she uses her chat GPT. She's like, here, I used it today about this. And I was like, I just never would have considered chat GPT for that.
It's so crazy. I wrote a talk for church and asked chat GPT to help me organize it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And it was pulling LDS things.
References,
yeah.
I once she was telling me about that. I have a camp coming up.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of a youth camp for girls. And I'm in charge of the opening.
Yeah.
And I have lots of thoughts, but I'm like, what do I do?
Yep.
So I literally put into it, I'm doing an intro to camp. We need to cover all these things plus respectful behavior, and our theme is this, and here's the things we're touching on.
Yep.
Can you make it make sense?
Yeah.
It pulled through for me.
It does.
And I was like, that sounds so nice. And I was like, it's what do you want a shortened version? And I'm like, well, I'd like to see it. And then
it will say do you want it to be more fun or do you want it to be more elegant?
Yeah.
And then you just tell them yeah, I would actually like it to be like that.
I'm like, where has this been my whole life? Because wow.
Thank goodness I'm not in school with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I feel like that is going to be tricky with kids and being here's how we can use it to help us instead of use it to just do all of our work.
Yeah.
So that our brains turn to mush.
Yeah, I'm a little nervy.
So I'm new to the ChatGPT world, but I am interested in it.
I'm interested.
Okay, time to bonus yap.
I love a bonus yap.
What is topping your wish list right now?
Ooh, I can't wait to share mine.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so there's this 2-piece set, activewear set on Free People. And like I said, I went to the Mike sales this last week. And Betsy wore the bottoms over her swimsuit. It was like a light, stretchy, airy material.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved. And then she's like, it came with a shirt.
Cute.
I think I need.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten it yet, obviously, because it's on the wish list, but
Yeah.
I'd be thinking about it.
What if it's Free People? It's probably a little spendy.
It's $98, but you get a shirt and pants.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I am thinking about it. I'm wishing for it.
You're thinking about it. My wish list right now is just Audible credits because those feel so precious to me that I have a hard time using them.
How are you supposed to pick?
But I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series.
Oh.
Which everyone in the whole world is telling me is good. You know? They're all like, you got to read it.
You got it.
So here I am reading it, but it's 7-8 books. It's a lot of books.
Whoa.
But I'm listening to it because when it's that many, it's easier for me to like power through listening than sit down and read 8 books.
You're so right.
So I've been using my Audible credits on them. And I'm out of my Audible credits.
That's so sad.
And I'm like, I know I can buy more. That's not really the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is just, I don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
I want it to be an Audible credit I already had.
You want it to be free.
Yeah.
Girl math. Even though Audible credits are not free.
But once you have them, it's like free.
It's free. It's free.
It's free. Okay.
Well, our next portion is influence you. So, Missy, what are you influencing?
This is a content creator, an Instagram follow.
Ooh.
And her name is Josie Balka. And she's a poet.
Oh, wow.
But she like reads her poetry out loud.
Oh.
And she has the nicest voice. I like it so much.
Oh.
And she has like almost a tiny lisp.
Oh, I love a lisp.
The way she reads poetry speaks to my soul. And it's always about very touching things that like speak to me.
That's so cute.
Like she just put out one about making friends as adults and what that means. It's so, I love her.
Okay.
She just put out a book.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be purchasing because I do love her content.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not going to like sit and read the book because I would like her to speak it into my ears with her cute little lisp.
Yep.
But I just want to support her. I like her so much.
Oh, I
She's
feel you.
such a good follow.
Oh.
She will probably make you cry, but she's good.
Okay. Oh, yours is
love.
really great.
What's yours?
The book I'm reading.
Listen, I love a good book rec.
Let me just make sure I'm going to say the right thing, though.
And it's a summer book, yes?
Yes, it's called One Golden Summer.
Okay.
The author is Carly Fortune, and this is the order of her books.
Okay.
But you don't have to read them in order as of lately.
Okay.
So it goes Every Summer After, Meet Me at the Lake, This Summer Will Be Different, and they all have like these pretty like like watercolor.
Yeah, and
of?
almost like sunsetty colors.
Yes, and so I think she's a Canadian author, and so all her books are based in Canada at these like awesome places like near water.
Yeah.
And they're all rom-coms and so cute, and I eat every book up. I love them.
I love a good fun summer read.
Yes. So they're perfect for summer. So her last one was called One Golden Summer. And so it's actually the character that it's about is from the first book, Every Summer After. And so she wrote this romance, and then the brother from that book gets his own book. Because everyone thought like, oh, like, I wouldn't say some people thought he was like the villain, but they were like,
But he was not loved. Not
I don't know.
Universally.
So she kind of wrote like a little thing like in the book, the front of the book of One Golden Summer, and was kind of like, I liked Charlie. Like,
Yeah.
people kind of thought this, but like that's not true. And so he got his own book. And guys, I am like 6 chapters in. I'm not far. I'm loving everything I'm reading. I'm eating it up. I'm thinking about it constantly.
Oh, I love it when a book pulls you in and it's like, read me right now.
Yes. So read Every Summer After first, and then you can read One Golden Summer, which is her book that came out in 2025. The other 2 books are standalone books, so you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
So
I love a good book, Rick.
I love it, everyone. It is so good. I can't remember if this lady is like how spicy it is, because I don't love books with a ton of spice. I know there will be a little bit of spice in here. It's obviously enough that I'm like comfortable reading it, but like
I agree. I think me and you are both like a
yearning.
1 to 3 is our max.
Yeah.
Once you hit 4 or 5 spicy peppers, that's maybe not for us. We like the yearning.
Yeah.
The longing.
Yeah.
The will they, won't they.
Yeah.
We're in for it.
So anyways, just so you know, there will be a little bit of spice. So if that's not something that you'd like to read, no worries. But
I feel like that's typical for the rom-com genre at this point.
Yeah, but just know, like, if I'm reading it, then like it's
not too spicy.
I know, but I haven't even gotten to any of those spots yet. So
maybe be surprised, but be prepared.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for our episode today.
You guys can follow us on Instagram or TikTok at the Vibe Providers Pod. I'm Kaitlyn.
And I'm Missy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.